to another episode of Box Mining live stream here, where we talk about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, decentralized finance, DeFi. It has been popping amazingly this weekend, and we'll talk a little bit about yield farming as well. Today, for me, at least, it's Monday, the 10th of August, and we do these updates. I'll show you guys the live update time. So we do it once on Monday and once on Friday. And whilst there wasn't too much news, I mean, it's weekend, but crypto markets have just been absolutely blossoming this weekend. So in terms of real life news, not too much, but in terms of market news, trends, wow, like I did not stop this weekend. I was just fully on alert, and I don't think anyone else in crypto stopped either. In fact, I messaged so many different people. Like, I just named up names here. I messaged Bobby on the weekend, Bobby Ung from CoinGecko, just trying to get a connection up. And then boom, like he replies in like 10 minutes, stuff gets set up, calls get set up like immediately. This is when the action is happening, guys. It is absolute insanity. No one is sleeping. No one is like taking time off. It is absolutely crazy. I even had a call with Jeff from TrustSwap, and just immediately, just bang on 10 p.m. What time is it? It's time to get to work, time to start developing, time to come up with new ideas. It's absolute insanity right now. And I think that's great for this whole ecosystem, and you gotta move fast. Like, that speed at which we have to catch up with everything is total insanity. So what we're going to do in this episode, we're going to do, first of all, a brief rundown of the market so far, just to get the narrative right. Some risk associated. I think there is always a risk. And I think right now the biggest risk is off a minor pullback. So everything's been going nuts. I mean, we've been seeing like 100% increases over the past few days. So the risk of a pullback is there. So I just want you guys to be aware of it, not financial advice, of course. Then I'll talk a little bit about what I'm getting into, some of the new projects and some of my strategies going forward. And then finally, I'll talk about yield farming. Yield farming has been great. It's been taking a little bit of a back burner recently. I mean, those 1000% APY days are over. But if you guys think about it, yield farming was something I was super big for the last 3 weeks rather, being one of the first guys to mine Wi-Fi. I was almost 1% of the pool at that time. And that generated what was it, like $150 million of wealth in 1 week? Like for the total market cap. I mean, that's insane, right? So I'll talk a little bit about that, get you guys caught up. I'll do some Q&A as well towards the end of the episode. So guys, make sure, guys, if you're coming in, make sure you smash up that like button. It really does help this channel grow. So just smash it up right now. We have 123 people here already. That is insane. Usually these streams, it starts off a little bit slow and it gets that momentum going. But this time, like I just saw like 60 people waiting right off the bat. I'm like, okay, bull market time. Gotta rush. It's time, guys. So big shout outs to everyone. Before we start, obviously, I want to do a mini ad. So I think today I'll just talk a little bit more about my podcast. So let's go and talk about my podcast. So Box Mining Podcast. Okay, so Bitcoin Out of the Box. So Bitcoin Out of the Box is my podcast. We are doing updates every single week. I know this week, for some reason, Apple just try to bug out. But anyways, we have so much information, a wealth of information here about what is happening, the latest ups and downs in crypto. We got a lot of the insights. A lot of times before things really happen, you can start finding out about everything that's happening here. Not just, so we got TrustSwap CEO Jeff Kredekas, we got the Plutus DeFi guys, Ruben Yap on privacy coins. That was a really insightful interview on everything privacy. You got Benjamin from Elrond. I mean, if you looked at what happened to Elrond recently, that was insanity. And you can see his determination and strength here. We got Sash on his strategies from Altcoin Buzz. Man, he's doing absolutely crazy. We've been sharing screenshots and they're just like nuts. And then we got Charles as well from Genesis Block. So that is a packed podcast. We have more coming up as well. So make sure you check it out. Bitcoin Out of the Box. Search for Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everything. Just make sure you're on it, on the ball. It's something great to listen to on the go. So let's start the episode off. I know I'm just doing my morning talk about something I am caring passionately about. I will get everything with the podcast fixed as well. I know that there was one episode lagging behind on Apple iTunes, but that is the case. And big shout out to everyone here. So we got SD generated 3 Rolex watches in a week. Crazy. That is nuts. I know how that feels, man. Looking at Rolexes, you can't, the biggest problem with Rolexes, you just can't get them. I'm so sick of that Rolex waiting line, and I'm so sick of the secondary market. So I hope it's just insane. We got Cactus Cooler says Wi-Fi strong dumpumentals. We got to talk about pumpumentals and dumpumentals in this lesson. And the thing is about yield farming is that I took it very, very safe. So I didn't towards the end of last week, I didn't have too much exposure to the market, so to say. So I'm in pools that just have Y curve or just have link, etc. I'll talk a little bit about yield farming towards the end. Anyways, let's do the market narratives. Thank you everyone for coming in. Thank you all the admins for also helping out. They do this absolutely for free. This is one of the best community channels in the world, guys. This is the best, guys. So thank you guys so much for your time, admins. We got t-shirts. Admins, I'm not sure if you guys know, but admins, you guys get free t-shirts. That's the only free thing you get from me this year. I'm so sorry. I need to get more stuff. I need to get more thanks. But guys, you get 3 t-shirts. We've been sending them out. I know Hong Kong Post is a little bit bad right now, but we've been sending these t-shirts out. We're starting to get that pipeline going, guys. More stuff is coming. So anyways, let's get a look at the market first. So market wise, lots of green. So 7-day wise, honestly, Bitcoin, Ethereum, they kind of recovered. So they're kind of sitting at the top of where everything is. And in terms of action, there's not too much going on in the top cryptocurrency. So that's the kind of current narrative. So yes, it did move. All right. So it's fluctuating a bit, but in terms of kind of what's overall happening with the market, the biggest movements are in the decentralized finance and in the gaming space. So if you just look at the top 24 hours, we have all these insane pushes, right? So top 24 hours, Nest protocol, we have NXM. People were talking about it like crazy yesterday, but the only problem is I almost got in, but you had to have your KYC done for it. It's an insurance for decentralized platforms. So anyways, there was so much talk about it yesterday. This was my biggest regret. I was like, I had to fill in my passport details. I have to do all this. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. There's too much time. But anyways, it went up 60%. That's crazy. Banned because of that listing from Coinbase. It went up like crazy. I mean, look at the 7-day, right? Like not just the 24 hours, but look at the 7-day. Bands up like 3 times. That's just insanity of what's going on here. We got Balancer also. Balancer was listed on Binance. The funny story of Balancer was like, I told quite a few people about crypto over the past few weeks, right? And one of them, right, they immediately jumped on Balancer. They're like, oh, it's listed on Binance. It's going crazy. Boom, instant did a 2x. I'm like, wow, that's insane. That's insanity, right? And that just shows how crazy this market is right now. In terms of decentralized finance, the listing of these protocols, of these services finally caught on, and obviously there's a lot of insanity going on right now. I'll talk about the risks in a sec. I'll just get the excitement out of the way first. But anyways, that's kind of what's the current state of what's happening. Almost everything related to decentralized finance was crazy. Talking about trust swap as well, like it's the speed at which you move, right? So, I've been talking about trust swap a bit because I'm recently brought on as an advisor. I spent ages thinking about this, right? So I spent ages thinking about what's happening. Should I, be even part of this? And in the end, I settled with, I want to be part of this action. And man, there was so much action. The speed at which it moves, right? I knew Jeff from a long time ago. We were in Bali. We worked out together. I knew that he was a very active person, but that translating into the whole crypto space, moving at a very fast speed, not just involving people and bring them on board. I think a lot of people are saying, oh, he's bringing influencers on board and that stuff. But in terms of also what he's doing in terms of development and insight, I tell him about something new and boom, like that speed at which he catches on, design something pushes it out. That's crazy. And that's the speed at which we need to be at in the space. People need it. So obviously right now there's a little bit of consolidation. In the past 14 days, it went a little bit too crazy, but that's the whole crazy part about crypto. Consolidation, move up, move onwards. That's the insanity of everything going on. And then speaking of the insanity here. So I just want to read you a small quote about what's happening. It's a little bit interesting. I saw this on one of the chats. I'll credit Ivan for this. He wanted to remain pseudo anonymous, but there was a group that he's in. If you want to be part of that really cool group, it's not paid group, but it's actually really insightful. Has a lot of people from that's been through this rush. So let me calm everything down here, and I'll tell you a little bit about this structure. But I felt this was a very good quote to go on. So let me read this out to you guys. He said, during the bear, nothing really worked. Binance listings only really. You had to stay afloat and not die. Unless you had legit portals, capital boost yourself, I would say SNX had it, and early-ish, I was able to start the bull run with a much bigger evaluation. Others went to zero, and it's now just starting to climb up. So that was during the bear. That was last year. It was brutal. A lot of people were very, very depressed. You can feel that depression 2019, 2018, when people lost money. We're human. We're human, right? We're human. We're vulnerable to these huge mood swings, and the ability to keep pushing on is important. And even last year. So last year, I have to confess, I kind of took some time off. I was traveling a lot because just the market wasn't moving too much. I knew that I wanted to be in crypto. I still made videos every day, but it wasn't as frequent. And I'm glad I took that time off, because I'm like, now is the time for no break, right? You don't want to have any breaks during this time. That was when you have to just do your bucket list. Last year was my bucket list. Tick it off. Iceland, boom. Venice, Italy, boom. Take that off. USA, I wanted to go around, drive around the States. Yes, boom. Pacific Coast Highway, done. Just ticking off that bucket list. France, go check out whatever, the lavender fields, whatever, right? Go Bali for a week. Go in the jungle, dance around a bit, get that energy out. It's just like that insanity. That's last year. This year is all about work. This year is out of the bull market, all about work. So then the market started to revive. Quality investors were looking at P/E, so profits to earning ratio, usage numbers. They want early alpha to be early. They want someone desperate to make this work. They were convinced themselves of value being there. DeFi was the strongest leader, and there was indeed value, and they saw an opportunity to capitalize on it. So this is really last year as well. Late last year, there were huge investments into the space. There are a few things I did miss out. So I was into DeFi, but I was a little bit too afraid of investing aggressively. So I think the people who did invest aggressively is people like that just jumped into Ample Fourth for dirt cheap. People who jumped into Compound, people who jumped into MTA. I think that was one that I kind of regret passing on. So people who got on this and just jumped on board, boom. Okay. And then the market started going, announcement, partnerships, rumors started doing better. And I saw a lot more PR and things going on, partnerships and all these things, but attention was already getting scarce. Okay, now the noise starts. Your community must be built before the next stages. At this point, it's all about speculation. Now it's in the degen phase. So it's a full-on degenerate phase. It's about narrative trading, the signals, and any random news. Anything works. Nothing doesn't work. You're free-floating. All ideas are good. Shillers are visionaries. And I kind of agree with that. I actually kind of agree with that. That's kind of the state at which we're in right now. We're kind of in this irrational state. And I think you need to just be blunt about it. I feel like there's no need to sidetrack this and say, look, there's everyone's a legit visionary. There's definitely a lot of hocus pocus going on. It's not really the most rational market. There are things that just go up. People don't even look at profit and earning ratios. Why do that, right? And there are so many new projects and new coins. We're talking about total value locked, but sometimes when you just like in the case of yield farming, total value locked really spikes when the rewards are high. But what happens when the rewards go down, right? When the new coins stop being distributed, etc. Can this project sustain itself? So right now we're kind of at that full-on degenerate phase, and it's not always the healthiest phase to be in. I mean, I made a few videos about, is DeFi overhyped, DeFi not overhyped, and there's a whole video series up here. But I think the conclusion of that was that this is the market. I think I think 2017 box mining would be said, oh, this is not right. This is not right. This is not the way it should be. And I try to change it. But this year I kind of realized that this is the flow, right? You can't change people for what they are. You can't change people. The only way to exit out of this degen phase is for everyone to have insane amounts of EQ where everyone makes the perfect rational decision, but that's not possible. You just have to understand that this is the risk you'll be taking, and there will be a time when it comes where there will be a consolidation phase, right? There might be a 30%, 40% that just like slam down on the entire market entirely. That is absolutely possible. And this definitely did happen in 2019. So that's why I'm having these stern warnings. We have this emotional hype upwards, but you just have to be prepared for it. Like, I'm fully prepared. I'm fully ready for that. I'm ready to buy that dip. But if you look at what happened to Ampleforth too, that'll be a big example where it rocketed to 100x, and then bam, there's a sudden consolidation phase where it loses and sheds 70% of its value, and people are just wondering what the hell is going on, right? People are wondering, but that's kind of expected. If you go up 100x, I mean, there are people who don't want to take profit, and this kind of cascades into that kind of event. So it will happen. It's just whether or not you're ready for it. And so my strategy here in that sense is definitely go aggressive when you need to go. So in the past 3 weeks, I have been going extremely aggressive. If you look at how aggressive I've been yield farming, I jumped into everything. I jumped into Wi-Fi when it was early. I jumped into Wi-Fi 2 when it's up there. I jumped into YFFI. I jumped into Cream. Cream did extremely well, by the way. And then all of that, all the profits, around 10% I took out. The rest I just reinvested into new coins, just like threw that on the market. I just kind of, the whole last 2 weeks was all exiting that stubborn mindset, right? I learned from the mistakes I made in 2017. 2017, when I was introduced into a lot of crypto, it was led by a lot of maximalist thoughts, right? Bitcoin is the best. Everything else is a scam. Don't bother exploring everything. No, there's a lot. You have to unstick your head from that giant hole. And I think this is like, I joke about this. I had this one that this was like a popular meme going on. I totally respect. I didn't want to mean any disrespect to maximalists. And Jimmy Song is such a good person. He's such a good person in real life. He knows so much, right? But he's also a Bitcoin maximalist, where you feel like, okay, Bitcoin is the only coin, it's the only project that is valuable. And we had all these debates over the years. And I feel like the people who think that Bitcoin maximalist is the only coin, and a lot of people coming into this read this maximalist thoughts, I think it's absolutely okay to have a huge hodl in Bitcoin. And that's not me, right? Not financial advice. That's me. I actually have a huge hodl in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin takes up almost everything. But at the same time, to say, like, it's okay to just hodl Bitcoin, and it's the easiest way to do it, right? In here, when you're talking about altcoins, there's also a lot of scams going on. We'll probably talk about those, and tons of valueless projects. There's going to be projects that completely fail, even if they have the best fundamentals, whatever. Maybe just suddenly it's just gone, right? So a lot of people choose not to go into altcoins, and that's absolutely great. But at the same time, to say that there's no innovation and all of this is a scam, that's going too far. And I think that's where I kind of felt like I'm like an anti-maximalist now. I don't feel like that maximalist mentality works. It's almost like Peter Schiff, like he's like shouting, "Oh, gold is the only way. Bitcoin is the fool's gold. It's a scam." And he's been doing that since 2012. And back in 2012, I actually believed that. Like, that was how dumb I was. I was just a total idiot. I was like, oh, maybe I should listen to all these guys who have been in the financial industry for such a long time. I was still a student back there. Maybe they're like teachers. Maybe they're warning me against Bitcoin, right? That's part of the reason why I sold Bitcoin at $15. When Bitcoin pushed from 10 to 15, I was like, oh my God, this is the bubble. I am out, guys. Listen to that Peter Schiff guy. He knows what's up. Bitcoin's going to zero. No, it didn't work. And that set me back so much. It set me back. And like when Bitcoin pumped to 1,000, I was just like crying inside, I was like, oh, and I'm like, oh, I'm just going to wait until it's back to 15 again. I'm going to buy back. Like, so dumb. You gotta just take your head out of the sand, wake up. There are so many developments. There's actual value being delivered. Yes, we're in a degen phase. Yes, this right now it's a little bit crazy. The market is totally irrational, maybe. But at the same time, there's so much innovation happening. I'm actually actively using tools. I actually did deposit my Ethereum in MakerDAO. I pulled out DAI and minted some DAI. Now I can use that DAI to do something awesome. But at the same time, I'm exposed to Ethereum. That's crazy. I didn't even think that was possible. So anyways, that's kind of the whole situation up there. I know it was a little bit hard bashing maximalism, but I felt like it's absolutely necessary right now to be extremely dynamic. Just move on. Like I no longer at all read any news relating to gold and Bitcoin going to zero. I think that's completely nonsensical to me. I don't read or don't care for that anymore. That's like, I'm out of the discussion, right? Nor am I out of the discussion for maximalism. So maximalism is the wrong way to do it. You can't, like, it's not for me, right? I feel like I'm here to look at what's new. I'm here to look at what's happening and to use all these tools that's happening, get exposed to this. And of course, obviously, there are a lot of risks associated to it, and I manage my risk the way I designed it to be. But those two arguments, no longer necessary. Thank you, whoever made this. It's hilarious. like, you can miss out on so much. And it's just like the way I feel, it's like it's like almost like calling the internet a scam. Back in the day, there were old people like, oh, the internet's a scam. No one's going to go online and fill in their credit card details and buy stuff on the internet. That's all a scam, right? Anyways. All right. So guys, moving forward, we have the Beef30 that asks a very important question. Any thoughts on the arrest of Jimmy Lai, the founder of Apple Daily in Hong Kong? Hong Kong's going through a lot of unrest. I've completely stopped commenting on Hong Kong politics at this current point because I feel like there is a lot of risks in doing so. And at the same time, with regards to politics, I've told this to my friends as well. I just stopped reading politics. I look at generally what's going on, but the problem is politics is it triggers people, right? It triggers people. It gets you kind of committed to reading more and more, and it's a black hole. Crypto is going at full speed, right? You don't have time for that. I ain't got time to read politics. Like I'm here making money, right? Like maybe read politics when I'm bored or like when the bear market's here, but during a bull market, why are you wasting time on this? Like you got to make sure your every day, every hour is efficiently planned. You got to make sure that you're eating at the right time. You're not wasting your time, like buying food or, I don't know, driving out for an hour or something like that. You got to be on the ball. There's so much that's going on. You got to be making these connections. You got to figuring out what is happening. You got to be figuring out, planning 10 moves ahead of everyone else. That is what your time should be dedicated to. Else you're going to get wrecked hardcore. Like I've been telling people, like I know friends that like read politics up like 10 hours a day and stuff, and they just get so angry and so worked up, right? Everyone's so worked up right now. Like COVID is going to working people up. Trump's working people up. Hong Kong's working people up. Delete, unfollow, boom, gone. Anyways, that's my 2 cents about everything going on. Peace Beats talks about best DeFi yield farm right now. So DeFi, I'll talk a little bit about yield farming. Yeah, Nick Miles says politics is just a waste of your time and energy. So seriously. And that's the last bit. I'll be talking about Bitcoin politics and crypto politics too. I think crypto, we have tons of politics too, and I ain't got time for that too. I'm just in this period, I've just buried all my grievances. You know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care if there's all these rumors. I mean, I think the biggest one was Chainlink. For the longest time, I was very apprehensive about Chainlink because I felt like there was all these rumors, right? Like, just the story going forward. There were all these rumors that this is a Russian pump and dump. And obviously, this is way before Zeus Capital 2, by the way. This is like all the way in January. I didn't buy then because I was like, I'm afraid of that. And then it just shot up, right? It shot up to $4, $5, $7, $10, right now $13. And I was just like, I had access. I had these like feelings. And then this week I was just like, you know what? Everything gone. It has value. It probably has too much hype. a lot of hype, but at the same time, it has a lot of value. And there's just no point having all these grievances. And I think you can all learn from LinkChain in the sense that Zeus Capital tried to flood it, right? Zeus Capital made this supposed Zeus Capital, they had the name similar to the London bank firm, but it's not. It's just probably a group of people. They made this huge article about Chainlink, how it's worth nothing. And obviously they placed a gigantic short on Chainlink. So shorts are when they benefit from the price going down, and they try to literally pay people to draw charts of Chainlink going down. But recently, Chainlink did nothing but go up, and they got wrecked. That's a problem, right? This is a problem. You can't let all the grievances be there. I mean, obviously, there's a merit to everything. There's always uncertainty and doubt, but at the same time, you have to be aware of it and not let it overly cloud your judgment. I think that's one thing I learned. I mean, maybe perhaps there's one day that it'll completely crash down to zero. Maybe if it doesn't deliver. But at the same time, what if it does deliver, right? This is what you have to be thinking of. So on that line of thought as well, recently I've been farming YF Link. So in terms of yield farming, I know this is a bit weird, but all the Wi-Fi clones, they're pretty much gone at this point. So yield farming is a very different time now. So YF Link is still all right in terms of kind of where the market is, but you have to use Link. So I did go into the pool for YF Link. So it's yflink.io. So we have this one. So recently, not financial advice, of course, but this is my current strategy. So I don't usually go into the balancer pools because of the token volatility risk in permanent loss. I have a new episode on that very soon, but there's just higher risks of coin fluctuation in these. So typically speaking, I'll just go for a Link one. So I'm holding Link now. I'm a Link holder finally, and I just checked out the farm, and it's not bad. I mean, it's around 500% right now, not even 500%. So yeah, it's so messed up. Like, just looking back at it, it's so messed up. Like, these numbers I don't think are sustainable, but at the same time, whilst I'm here, I'm farming. I'm just farming. I'm just like, yield is yield, profit is profit. And I'm doing the miner thing, which is I sell 90%, keep 10% of my yield. Yeah. The Beef 30 says Zeus Capital should have put big boy cat pants on instead of those short shorts. Absolutely. And it just goes to show. So even with Link, just going there, we added this list on boxmining.com. So that's newest news, but there was a giant liquidation, right? So there was a liquidation that happened over this weekend. Let me just try to find it. This article is a bit long, but so yeah, so there was data showing that there was around $20 million, which was liquidated. So this is a case where, all right, so this is the point here. So they were on Ava, it was possible to stake your USDC and borrow out Link. So this is definitely a short seller. So what happens with these short sellers is that they stake their USDC, they pull out Link, and they sell this Link on the market. They're trying to dump the price. So at a later time, they can buy the Link back again at a cheaper price and then return this loan. So if Link does go to zero, so let's just say they put this $21 million there, they borrow out all this Link, and if Link goes to zero, all right, this Link has a $17 million valuation right now. They try to dump at the market and create as much fear, uncertainty, and doubt as possible. And then, like, hypothetically, let's say if they just went to zero, like they said it did, then the value of that Link would be almost at zero, maybe like a few $1,000s. They can very cheaply buy that Link on the market, then return it to this loan and then pull out their USDC. happy days. That's their plan, right? That's a short seller's plan. So they stake up, they have this $21 million. That's not a small sum of money too, $21 million. They stake up this money, they borrow this link, they try to destroy the market, then they'll return it, take out the money, and then everyone's happy, right? They made quite a lot of money in the process, right? They make this money, they make this $11 million. If this goes to zero, they make that money, right? But the problem, of course, is that Link's value just kept rising and it just blew apart this loan. So this loan came to a point where the value of the Link went over their collateral factor, and then boom, that's got liquidated. This USDC got sold off, and they're crying in the corner, being like, oh crap. So that's kind of the situation. I think it was funny to watch that, and it really goes to show one quote, right? So this is by John Maynard Keynes that says, the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. I think that's a great quote. So we are maybe entering that degen phase. Maybe everything's great, maybe not. But at the same time, I think there is market irrationality here. And they just try to short a bull market. Yeah. Oh, all right, guys. So let's talk about let's do some Q&A, talk about what's happening. Let me see what else I got prepared for you guys just very quickly. There is an article coming up on impermanent loss. This is extremely important if you're yield farming. This chart, basically, there's going to be a full episode coming out about it, but basic summary, I just have to tell you guys very quickly. So if you're staking funds in liquidity pools, is becoming extremely popular. So either on Balancer, on Uniswap, etc. So what happens on these pools is that these funds are being used to make the market. So they're being used actively in the market to fill orders. So they're not used passively. You have to remember Balancer and Uniswap both are using your funds. If you stake in the liquidity pool, use them actively for trades. That means if one of the assets go up in value or go down in value, you're going to suffer something called impermanent loss. So the best situation obviously is at 100%. So everything stays the same. That's when you're going to make money without any impermanent loss. But at the same time, if one asset goes drastically down in value, not only are you going to lose money based on the value of one of the assets you're holding, but you're going to lose extra value when your funds are actively being used to buy the dip. And the same thing goes with when one of the assets go up, your assets are actually actively being sold on the market to fill in new additional orders. So you're going to suffer also impermanent loss. So I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail. That's coming up in an upcoming video. So make sure you have that notification button on. That's super important for any yield farmer out there. If you're ever considering a liquidity pool, you got to know the risks. You got to be smart. You got to know those risks. That video is coming up very, very soon. And if you're part of the notification squad, if you just put that notification button down below, you can be part of the notification giveaway, the t-shirt giveaway. I have the t-shirt here. So we got these t-shirts are coming out, the new ones, not this old one, but new ones coming out. We're giving these t-shirts away. Just type hashtag notification squad. When a video releases, you get a chance to win a t-shirt. And probably more, we'll probably do something more. I know a t-shirt is not always the best for one, but I love my t-shirts. Anyways. All right, staking protect the future. Projects are the future. Staking projects are the future. I think staking is good and bad. I mean, it's very, very popular right now. And but you know, you got to be careful. You got to know the risks. All right. So yeah, also here we got some crazy balancer pools here. Predictions.exchange. I was looking at this over the weekend as well. This is kind of cool. So this is like the idea I'm talking about where you got return on liquidity. I mean, some of these pools are offering like what, 60, 70% return on liquidity. That is insanity right there. I mean, these ones, Balancer, ETH. And the reason why they're offering such high return on liquidity is because Balancer was very volatile. So if you did put your money into a Balancer pool, you'll most likely lose even if the return on liquidity is very high because Balancer prices are just going up like crazy. So in that case, your Balancer is actively being sold on the market to fill those orders. And then yes, so your return on liquidity is high, but your Balancer is sold. So when Balancer is taking that massive rally that we're experiencing now, well, that's gone. That's gone. So honestly, for all this stuff, I've been looking more at something like all the BTC, wrap BTC and stuff, and those ones here. So I'll talk a little bit about it. I'll talk about what my thoughts are about it, etc. And that is awesome. All right, we'll do some more stuff and we'll talk about. We got Black Silver Stacker says, "Do you like tacos?" That is awesome, man. So recently, there's a lot of meme and fun coins. Obviously, I have to say a confession. I did jump into a few meme and fun coins, and the one taco is coming up. So I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys the taco link. So if you guys are interested in having a bit of fun, I think these are all just fun coins in my opinion. But if you guys want and are interested in tacos, hey, Silver Black Stacker, can you send the taco link here? I'm not sure why it's not searching up on my Twitter. Let's see. Oh, taco token. So if you guys want to, if you want to play with taco token, guys, feel free. So with these things, you know, I normally don't touch meme coins, but this season, why not? I'm just like, I'm playing with meme coins. Why not? I think it's just for my personal enjoyment. So if you guys want to check out tacos, they're launching very, very soon. And I think the most interesting about tacos is that they didn't sell anything at a discount for anyone who bought in at. They just kind of like did it, and people can get in early, but they can't buy at a discounted price. And I think that's absolutely vital at this current point. But yeah, tacos. So guys, don't be surprised if there's taco memes or if I'm eating tacos. I know last week I was so hungry because everyone was talking about tendies. That was like the meme of last week. And then I had I couldn't resist, and I just got a bucket of chicken. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's so delicious. I'm not sure if you guys have Popeyes wherever you are, but there's like one Popeyes in Hong Kong. I was like, one. And I had to just go there. I had to go to that one single Popeyes and get myself some Popeyes after seeing that. But anyways, tacos, I think this week I need to find a good taqueria this week. So okay, let's see what else there is. This is stuff I avoid. So on Cointelegraph, every time I see stuff like this, options data, pro traders expect ETH price to break 400. Be very, very careful with this, guys. I know news like this, everyone likes to read. This is why it gets posted on Cointelegraph. But at the same time, yeah, it's like these are mostly for clickbait. And if there's a lot of options interest, the biggest problem is this actually causes higher volatility when options get liquidated. So just be careful that if prices shoot up, so even if people are lying, even if there's a over what would you say it? There's more shorts than longs. Oh, sorry, there's more longs than shorts, which was a position that was happening last week. We could actually have particular whales that are hunting to destroy those options. So that actually was exactly what happened last week. So with this, you have to really balance out that data that you get and realize that when people are placing longs, they could be in an over leveraged position. A lot of people tend to have this gambler's mentality in this place, and which leads to some situations just like what happened a week ago, where suddenly prices just crash. And you're like left thinking, why is this happening? And it's because people are intentionally hunting to destroy professional traders, pro traders. All right, just be careful, guys. So yeah, I do read Cointelegraph, but I don't really take it to heart. I mean, they're talking about yield farming, and we've been there for like the last 3 weeks. That was when it's profitable, guys. That was when it's profitable. Right now it's still good if you're finding YF Link, but it's not as crazy as before, but you just got to keep your eyes open. So yeah, that's kind of the news. Also the last one, just on the media as well, I just would like to bash media, even mainstream crypto media. Exclusive, Wi-Fi's Andre Krone is tired, broke, and close to quitting DeFi. Oh my God, Andre Krone, the software developer who helped grow DeFi into a multi-billion-dollar industry, is on the verge of calling the community toxic. Oh my God, this is one of the I actually believed it. Like when someone shared this in my channel, I believed it, and I thought, oh my god, maybe this is happening. And then of course, obviously, I know this is crypto, so I chased up on what was happening. And Andre actually quoted and said, if you follow Andre here, Andre. If you follow Andre, he quoted this, and he just like, no, this is really taken out of context, and then this is kind of the counter of what's going on. So like he had to immediately, he had to kind of refute that. He says the actual interview, not whatever the hell exclusive audio was. Wait, what was it? It was a file. It's buried behind this. So, things are happening so fast. Let me just make sure I get the right quote. But okay, this one. Thank you for the amazing responses. Second, don't talk to reporters when you're angry. Third, there is truth in the article, but it's a lot more sensationalist than the full picture. Fourth, I sincerely appreciate the donations. So there were $150,000 donated to him after the article when they said that he was like broke and hungry and stuff. Like $150,000 came from the DeFi finance, DeFi community. So I'm really glad that people just threw money, hurled money at him. Like, just here's a donation, just take it, just take our money. I will be returning all of them. There is actually a proposal right now to return that money. So if you guys donated to him, like he's not broke, okay? He's been in crypto for a long time. He's probably loaded. Like he's been here. He's been writing for Crypto Briefing. He's probably loaded. But he said that he has loans out because he doesn't want to take out his crypto. He wants that crypto exposure. So he's crypto rich but real life poor. So that's where the sensation comes in. He's broke and hungry and tired. That's crazy. So anyways, I'm just bashing mainstream media a bit, but that's really what happened. And everyone, like a lot of people donated. I think that's really awesome off this whole entire community overall. And if you guys did donate, if you want a refund, there is a refund option. If not, he's just going to spend that money and buy Wi-Fi or something like that. So that's kind of what's happening. We got Winner says, please let us know how to keep track of yield farming opportunities. So best way to do this, we have a good discussion on the box mining Telegram. So there's a lot of talk up there. So we farmed Wi-Fi when it came out, Wi-Fi 2 when it came out. We also farmed YFFI. That was when I lost a little bit of money and learned the hard way about impermanent loss. I didn't expect YFFI to drop so fast. So that was like around when I actually did lose money. So that's my lesson, like not being too fast. And then of course continue farming because it's just way too profitable and wait like the profit way outweighed the one loss I suffered. So it just kept going on. There was Cream, there was YFT, there was YF Link, lots of farming. It's Y Vaults, which I'm in right now. So if you guys are interested in checking it out, make sure you check out the Telegram group. Typically speaking, I don't share it on the channel as much because what happens with the best farm is the best farmers are when they just release. That's when the rewards are the highest. So I jump into those groups, I get in. But the problem is, of course, some of them turn out to be exit scams. You want to do your research, so I jump in, but I do my research, right? So you don't want to share that at the time because I don't want people calling me the scammer, the shiller, or whatever. I think there was a community that was like, oh, so angry at box mining for that. I want to be at the front lines. So if you want to see anything there, it'll be on Telegram. For stuff on this channel, generally I'll respond to questions, but if you want to know what I'm mining right now, like Y Vaults, absolutely. YFFI a little bit now. Now the price has stabilized. I'm back into YFFI pools. Rewards not too high. It's around 100%. I know it sounds stupid, but that's the way it is. 100%, and we're just looking down like 100%. But also Cream finished last week, so I'm eyeing that. So Cream was another project that I was mining, but they only have 5 days of drops, right? So that was unfortunate. So that finished, but I'm gonna spectate to see what's happening there. YF Link is where it's happening if you have Link. So if you're a Link holder, that's where you should just jump into. I'll put the link down below. Yeah, and that's pretty much the case right now. Oh yes, we got SD says you missed green Wi-Fi, and yes, there is a green Wi-Fi as well. I totally missed that. Totally forgot about it. It was part of the Cream ecosystem where there was a Taiwanese Wi-Fi as well, and as that's still going, I should actually definitely check up on what's happening with green Wi-Fi there. There's so many things I cannot keep track of this. Yeah, and that's why I said, I mean, like, I'm working nonstop. I'm like literally sleeping at 3 a.m. nowadays, just waking up, checking prices. I mean, yesterday, this whole week, last week was Trust Swap. I was going like crazy again. This was a situation where I actually did provide liquidity to the liquidity pool, and then I was just watching the price go up. I'm like, oh my God, my Trust Swap is being sold. Oh, it's crazy. But I think at the same time, I wanted to make the money on the trades and also provide a little bit of liquidity to the project as well. So, full disclosure there. And this week as well, this insanity happened today. I just wanted to share this with you guys. So 2 of Jeff's projects, so I'm very close to Jeff. We're really good friends. His other project, Uptrend, just went like nuts this week. So in the last 7 days, it went up 600%, 700%. I was just insanity. So I was just like, this weekend, I was like, oh, that looks like I'm set for this week. Like, thank you. Thank you. And it was one of those projects that I held on for the longest period of time. Like, people talked about it. I talked about it ever since I was with him in Bali. He was a big uptrend guy. I knew that the community was growing there. It had a way more active community than a lot of the social media channels I saw. It was more active than Steemit at that time. The groups were active. Like, the social media uptrend was crazy. So that's when I did buy in. Bought in like ages ago, and then just now it's just like, it's insane, right? So I feel like this is kind of the situation right now where I think a lot of people, I think I'm more of a person that when everything is FOMOing up, when it's up on its rally, I'll obviously be a little bit cautious. I'm not telling you guys, yo, buy onto this rocket ship, wait for consolidation, maybe wait a few days to see how it consolidates and then see what happens. I mean, FOMO is not your friend right now. Don't ride that rocket up. Not financial advice, but I don't ride the rockets up. But usually speaking, I find value beforehand. This was one of the biggest examples of where value was found beforehand, and then I hodl onto it. I'm a great hodler for a year or so, and then boom. So yeah. So it's hard. This space is hard. Hodling is hard. But I see a lot of people getting wrecked by just chasing every single pump. Pumps are great because they have some upside, but they could also have some downside. So obviously now I'm more strategic. I'm waiting for that consolidation. If someone talks about a hot moonshot project, if they've been up 100x, I don't go in. I tend to wait for a consolidation period, and maybe that's when you just bookmark it. That's the way it goes. You just throw a bookmark on it, good to go. I mean, this weekend I asked you guys what your favorite projects were. I was like looking at a lot. So DOS, a lot of hype. Trust Swap, a lot of hype. Consolidation right now. Ring, that's great. Ring, Katon. So this is part of the Polkadot ecosystem. Dia, Stake. Oh my God, looking at these moonshots, this list is huge. And this is what I've been doing. I've been just adding this onto my list of coins to check out. If you know why I'm busy, this is why. I'm actually going through these projects one by one, figuring out what should I position it as. And I'll talk a little bit about how I position everything. So the way it works for me is I have my hodl, I don't touch it. It's roughly lying at around 70% right now, not because I sold. Previous it was at 80%, but 70% right now. Not because I sold, but because all the other funds, all the other groups are growing at a much faster pace. So hodl, I still haven't touched it. I've only used it for collateral. So I only use the E for collateral. Bitcoin haven't even touched at all. I don't believe in touching that Bitcoin. Hardcore down there. It takes around 70% of my portfolio, and I just put it in, VeChain's in there, some engines in there, but mostly Bitcoin. Like, it's 70% Bitcoin almost. I'm probably at 60 right now because ETH also went up, and VeChain will also went up. So like big on Bitcoin, VeChain, Ethereum, Engine, little bit of some other projects. Stuck in the HODL, just forget about it. Just throw away, like, just literally throw away all those trackers and stuff. I don't see it. I don't care about it. I'm a great hodler that's going to hold out for all times because I know that's what I value in, right? Lessons from 2012, if I hodled onto that, Bitcoin would be worth a lot more than $15, right? Understatement of the century. But after that, I'm just going to move this so it doesn't block my face. But after that, then I have the medium bags where I feel like this is not as volatile. So medium bags, let me see if I just post it up there so I don't forget anything. So let's see. So medium bags, this is just a small list of my medium bags, but we got Binance Coin, so just hype building around smart chain. I just hear a lot of people talking about it. So I've said, you know what, why not? So I filled up some medium bags of BNB. And I told you guys that on the chat as well. I've Engine, because of the whole gaming thing, the gaming narrative is really taking off. We got some Chainlink, why not? They defeated Zeus Capital. They seem to be on the way up, that FUD. Why not? We got UTK, Utrust here for payments. So I feel like that's the growth, right? People want to start using Bitcoin soon. These are longer term ideas, and a little bit of Swissborg as well. Recently, I was shown like one of the great ways to buy Bitcoin in Hong Kong even is just to use Swissborg. So it's just insane right now. So those medium bags, I don't expect them to be moonshots, but I expect them to kind of grow during this time. Like that's why, for me personally, not financial advice, that's why I picked them out. And then, of course, I have Moonshots. So I'm starting to collect a few Moonshots as well. Potentially, these are coins that could, have an enormous upside. They might have a like very, very large downside too. They might just completely flop to zero. That's a possibility. But a lot of people are talking about this idea of Moonshots, very slow, low cap projects that are extremely innovative. I mean, just for an example, so off tangent, but so this project just popped out of nowhere, right? So Bounce Finance. Bounce is just like it's the guys from, it's Chandler from Anchor. He just wrote this for fun, right? He just wrote this auction system and boom, it's popped. And like the amount of what people can do right now in terms of DeFi is absolutely insane. Is it too much? Probably, but it's also insane because programmers just can type out a little bit of code, pew, 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 weekend, had a few drinks, went back home, had an inspiration, typed out some bunch of code, and boom, they produce something amazing, right? They can suddenly produce auction system for coins, or I'm sure Andre Krone, he showed a whole list of these things that he created, like all these modules to farm, to invest money. He's essentially created a mini investment bank based on code. This is the insanity of DeFi. I mean, if you guys aren't paying attention, I mean, how do maximalists deal with this? Like the implication of this is insane, because once these smart contract gets deployed, it's completely decentralized in the sense that, like, if there's no backdoors, obviously you have to audit code to make sure there's no backdoors, but this contract is controlling itself, right? It's fully transparent. You know where the funds are going at all times. This is extremely important. This is what completely defeats centralized finance. Centralized finance, you throw your money at these funds. I mean, people approach me, right? So I have these mutual funds approaching me. I have insurance. Hong Kong, like Prudential offers these funds that you spend, like, say, like 100K buying. You throw your money in there. They say it gets invested into infrastructure, blah, 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 blah. Like they have this huge list, and like they have like all these fancy charts and stuff. You have no idea where that money goes. Right. And the worst part is, like, they're like, oh yeah, it's like 5%. And then like a year later, they're like, oh, sorry, you lost 5%. I'm like, how? Explain to me how. Like, please feel free to explain to me how I lost money here. And they're like, oh, markets aren't too. No. Transparency. You need to know where that money goes, if they're really doing it, what the hell is happening. That is where things are at. Obviously, there's risks, right? Obviously, there's smart contracts risks. Obviously, right now, we're still very early stages, but man, am I hyped for this. Man, like, I want that to just go away. Sorry. Not transparent enough. No, thank you. Get out of my life. Sorry. Chinese chess says BTC Maximus are um, the dinosaurs of crypto. I feel like it. I mean, crypto moves so fast. Like, if you're not paying attention, whatnot, right? And we also got, let's see, we got Case on Carter says lid is looking like another Mitch moonshot. I think there's a lot. Um, there's a lot of coins. I actually looked at lid over the weekend as well. We got Lemuel says true that Michael, true that, and I feel like that. I feel like this whole space is just changing up how finance works. A lot of the stuff, it doesn't look very clear at first. Like, you'll see, oh, why do we need a lending platform? And then once things start, once the pieces start adding up, oh my god, all of a sudden we have everything added up. It's crazy. It's crazy. Across Canada says too much dreams or ends up sleeping on the street. Obviously, for sure. Obviously, there's so much innovation as well. So a few caveats. I mean, I always go for these cycles on this channel, and I feel like it's most helpful. So some of the risks, one smart contract risk for what's going on. Second of all, a lot of this is open source, so there might be competitors that are way better along in the future. So be careful. Something that I have been strategically doing is, if something does 3x or 2x, I tend to start taking out my principal, so at least I don't lose money in that case. So that's one strategy that I have been deploying, and I've learned that from the 2017 rush, where if you do make, like, say, before it was 2x, but now it's like around 3x, I take out a third. So I take out my principal, at least I secure my principal, and then I can do whatever, right? If I lose 100%, I don't really care. My principal is done. I'm not going to end up sleeping on the streets. You guys have to be very careful for that. I know this place can be very tempting, and I know some people's strategies are just go all in on one coin, etc. I typically do not do that. I do now have a Moonshot portfolio. I'll expand that, and I'll write the coins down. I'll talk more about it. I think that's a little bit more about just kind of knowing what everything is. I feel like a lot of people buy stuff and not know the actual functionality and the long-term use case. They're like, oh, this is a moonshot, I'm going to go for it. I mean, I did a lot of research on lid yesterday. I was like, oh, okay, this is about locking down liquidity for liquidity providers on Uniswap, etc., providing proof that there is a lock on that liquidity. Okay, sure, that kind of makes sense, in that sense. But make sure you do all your research, etc. I don't want to be like the one being blamed for everyone going crazy. Like, I'm doing very well, but not everyone will be, not every project will do well. And I did make losses. I mean, this season, I think the most notable loss was when I threw $1,000 at Ample when people talked about it, and then that went down by 700. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I don't really care. I'm typically throwing in $1,000 at whatever project now, just for. I told you this is a really bad habit, but if someone tells me about it and I see it's interesting, I just put $1,000 down and then I'll start researching it. It's like a commitment to research, proof of commitment to research, I guess. So yeah, I did lose out on Ample because it was just rallying too high. Not the end of the world. And the other one I lost money on was YFFI during that liquidity pool. So I think that's the two memorable ones out there. The rest were just crazy. I mean, yield farming was insane. 1UP was insane. TrustSwap was insane, just riding the rocket up. Yeah, it's just astronomical. Even YF Link is insane. Like, it just went up in value. I'm like, wow, that's insane. So anyways, got black screen, guys. All right, let me figure out what's happening. I think I know what's happening. I think it's just the camera running out of batteries. It's all good, guys. Got a new battery here. So I've replaced the battery. It should be good to go in 1 second, or maybe not. Oh, there you go. Whoa! Whoa! All right, wait. And I jump here. And I jump here. Let me fix the camera, guys. Does that work? Huh. Well, you know what to hire for the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I'm that green guy. I'm the green alien. Anyways, I'm trying to figure this out, guys. I'm trying to fix the video. So whilst you guys are at it, make sure you smash up the likes. We have 500 people here. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. So basically the batteries run out just now. I'm using my Sony a7 III over there to record. I don't know why it's doing this partial thing. I'm just figuring it out. All right, we're good. Yay, we're back. And we're back. We had a question about cameras just now, so I had to just reconnect the cable. It's fine. So yeah, I have the Z camera here. So someone asked a question: do I use my Z camera? So this is something I bought for around $1,500. No, I don't use my Z cam. So I tried to figure it out, and I got almost everything working. And then the bull market came, and I said, hey, I ain't got no time for that. That's gonna be like 3 hours commitment. I need to change this lens. This lens is not good for like, I wanted to do something here so I can look at the lens here, but this lens is a 25 millimeter. So I need to find I think I need to find something like maybe like 18 millimeter, something like that, 18, 14 millimeter. I know, oh, this feels bad. I'm disrespecting my gear, but anyways, I didn't have time to do it. I was just like, no, bull market's here, guys. I need to spend time. We got someone spamming unlike, goodbye, thank you. Remove, put this user on timeout, just remove this guy. Hide user on this list, bye-bye. We got K-Ton Unicorn. I think a lot of people are talking about recently about Polkadot. So Polkadot has been moving momentum. I knew about Polkadot since last year. I think a lot of my friends were heavily invested into it. Polkadot's taking off this year. Wow, absolutely. That China hype is real, guys. Yeah, just, that's crazy. It's crazy. Michael Liu says Zcam E1. This is the Zcam E2 M4. So it's a Mark IV. It's a new one. It's the one that was released like a month ago. The one that's slightly cheaper with, it's like the one that you can change the cover on this. So it becomes a Canon E mount. That was a strategy. I just need to look at both Canon lenses and how to switch to Canon E mount, and that'll be fun. So anyways, whatever. How do we buy serum tomorrow? JJBB. Oh yeah. So we have an interview with Sam scheduled tomorrow. I'm not sure if you guys want it live. So if you guys want it live, tell me. But Sam is, I affectionately call him the Vitalik of making money. So he's a guy from Alameda. He also made FTX exchange, and he's making the serum project. And you guys know that I threw money at it on Friday. So they did a token sale. So that sale was on Friday. You had to hold FTX to get into the sale. I only managed to get 1 ticket into that sale. So 1 out of 5 tickets got drawn. It's going to be crazy. We'll see what happens when it trades tomorrow. Tomorrow's open market, so you guys got to be a little bit more careful about that. But we'll have to talk to Sam about what's the use cases of Serum. I think that's important, and just his view on decentralized finance. And I feel it's one of the, I think for me, right, honestly, it was one of the biggest regrets not following him a little bit earlier. Like, he's the guy with crazy hair, like this MIT guy who's like crazy haired, super intelligent and super hardworking. Like, he just works like a champion. Like, he just like, the rumor is, and I know this is absolutely true, is that he sleeps in his office. So he just like, he doesn't go home. Like, this guy works like 20 hours a day or something like that. It's insane. Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. So I wanted to have his insights. I think most important is his insights on the decentralized finance space, because he's been looking a lot into this. I mean, FTX has been listing DeFi coins like crazy, and they've also done their own DeFi project, which is Serum. And yeah, that's going to happen tomorrow. And if you want to do it, take a look. I've got Michael Liu says cost 100 mine to E-mine Decred. Decred's been great. Decred's like one of those projects that's like doesn't get much hype, but it's like it's doing a lot. I feel bad for DeFi. Chinese chat says Serum is using Solana. Yep, they are. Yeah, why not Solana? Got Trust Swap to the moon. Okay, so going there, what we'll do, I think we'll have a midweek episode with all the moonshots and the shitcoins and everything we want to talk about. We use the word shitcoin affectionately on this channel, so don't get too insulted. Don't get too insulted. I know some people are very sensitive here, but we'll talk a little bit about some prospects, some kind of new areas to go into. So I'll schedule a stream on Wednesday. I'll try to at least. Also on Wednesday, by the way, why don't we do this with, like, we have CZ coming up, right? We have CZ coming up on Wednesday, actually. That's on Wednesday morning. So guys, make sure you schedule up for that. Just a reminder. I'm just trying to keep track of everything. But CZ finally managed to bring him back. He's a one hard guy to nail it up there right now. But in 48 hours, we have CZ coming down. He is the CEO of Binance. The Binance effect is real this week as well. They listed Balancer. Balancer did something amazing. They listed Sand. Sand is the next coming IEO. They're going full on NFT gaming right now, and that's kind of led to this recent trend. I mean, just follow me on Twitter, guys, if you guys haven't done so already. I give you guys the updates on what's up. So I made this funny, like, I find this interesting. So I'm a big gamer. So crypto patch notes. DeFi got buffed again. We got Balancer listed on Binance, Swap, Band, Bao, Link, making huge moves yet again because of that DeFi buff. DeFi got buffed this week, guys. We got soft nerf on Wi-Fi clones, so it's still viable to farm the good ones like YF Link with unique value, but the ones without unique values are plain out Wi-Fi scams or Wi-Fi clones rather. They're not working at all right now. We got gaming and NFT space got buffed mostly because of that sandbox stuff. The other narrative here is not just because of sand, but because of China as well. China, they kind of missed out on decentralized finance, right? They went into DeFi a little bit too early. So they went into something like DForce, and DForce got hacked for $35 million, and that scared a lot of people off DeFi. So like when they went in too early, they got hacked, they lost money, so people were like a little bit put off DeFi, right? And then in fact, there were people who were actively shorting DeFi projects in China. So the rumor is it wasn't even Zeus Capital that got liquidated. It was actually a small Chinese fund that blew themselves up on a link short yesterday. So yeah, so they were like actively shorting DeFi. They're like, oh, no, DeFi, too risky, must short too much. Sorry, I'm bad at Chinese expression. I'm like, this is going to go on so well. This is going to go on terribly. But yeah, so they, no. They try to short link, got liquidated, all their money just wiped off the planet. Fun times, I guess. Fun times. But anyways, taking a look at, so gaming became hot all of a sudden. We got Roger Tremino. Sorry if I'm a little bit slow on all these chats, guys. What about chain links? Jeff Credaicus involved, maybe 100x like swap. I'm taking a look at it, by the way. Jeff did talk about a lot about chain games to me. I'll take a look. This week is going to be fun for all the gaming stuff as well, and I'm coming up with something cool as well. We'll see. Shh. So yeah, so gaming became really hot a lot from China. So that hype is just slowly building. So DeFi and a lot of people, even though we're thinking about gaming to be next, the NFT space. So that's going to be interesting coming up next. Jose Gamboa says, what else can you tell us about the VeChain ecosystem? If you want to know what's happening with the the VeChain ecosystem, check out my interview with Sunny. Sunny is the CEO of VeChain. We have a full, we have the updates all here. Lots going up in terms of what they're actually doing, pursuing those partnerships, building on, having more transactions on, integrating that system. So much going on. There's a whole article on it. Check it out. We got Smarks Killing Wrestling says, thoughts on Ren? It's black magic. REN, Ren, black magic. Yeah. Like I'm learning a bit more about it. I made a joke about it before. So this is how much I knew about Ren before. So before I thought Ren was cross-chain atomic swaps. You can create your own. I thought it was. It's not. It's something even cooler than that. Updates of Ren coming soon. Ruben is an expert on Ren, so I'll figure something out. But the way they can use that cross-chain ability, all of a sudden now there's Ren BTC on the Ethereum network. And now you can have like these pairs with Ren BTC. It's absolutely crazy. So insanity, guys. Sam asks, what do you think of DAM's dual token system? Do you see it as the future of DeFi projects? I have to check it out. Michael says, you missed my super chat. I did miss your super chat. Let me see. Let me try to find my super chat tool. I am so bad at super chat. So apologies, guys. Apologies for missing out super chats. I get too excited these days. Okay, so Michael says, what do you think of MedBlock funded by the Korean government? Who knows? I don't think Med has been working for a while. I know like Stanford professors, I know that work on medicine and blockchain. It's been ongoing, but it hasn't really received the attention it's gotten so far. So it's quite unclear when it will get that attention. So, you know, congrats is funded by Korean government, but also Korean government's extremely conservative when it comes to blockchain projects. That was a case last time I visited with Icon. A lot of people got angry when I told a lot of people the truth, which is that a lot of Korean big companies, they're more likely to integrate with a non-token based project. So that's where Icon Loop gets integrated rather than Icon itself. So that was just the sad truth behind it. Korean government, ultra conservative. They don't want to put their name behind a particular currency. But in terms of making a project happen, sure, why not? Ryan King says, box mining, are you mining or just trading? So I'm liquidity mining. But in terms of actual mining, not so much. Just the profit's too low. So per GPU, I can probably get like 3 cents per day. It's not really what I'm looking for at this current point. Like yield farming was great. I got like at the early stages, I got like 3,000% annual percentage yield. That's like what? 360 days, like almost 10% a day, 7% a day. Like what is that? Like that's insane, right? You just chuck some money at it, like boom, you're well off, right? So no, so yield farming was my biggest kind of push for the last 2 weeks. It was just absolutely crazy, right? Like it started off with Wi-Fi. I was there super early. I mean, even just look at the price of Wi-Fi right now. It's like $4,000. Market cap of $125 million. I mean, this is supposedly to be a governance token. I mean, it's even Andre said it was kind of zero value, but people value it. So as a miner, I mean, I'm happy. And long-term wise, I still kept around 10%. I'm happy with that. And I'm happy. Like I told people that I sold very early. So I actually did sell Wi-Fi at around 400 levels, at 800 levels, because I was there so early. No regrets on that. I made money, whatever. Yield is yield, farm is farm. You know, yield, invest, money, whatever. I'm covered. Lemieux says, same Michael, exciting times here. So Infinity and Beyond says, getting really expensive to get a dark node on Ren. Yeah. Like I'm not really for locking up my money in long periods of time. A lot of people were very concerned about lockups. I think, you know, for me, like there were some nodes I ran. So the nodes I ran were Zcoin, Zcoin. So I know, you know, you guys know I know Ruben very well. I picked these coins up around $3 during the bear market. So that was great. It's around $7 right now. So not only did it go up in value, but I also get around 18% annual percentage yield from just masternode staking Zcoin. So that was one of the lockups I did have. I didn't actually go on Elrond. So I know there were people who were staking on Elrond. I didn't stake, but I held it just because I felt like it wasn't necessary. I didn't want to be too greedy on there, because a stake up, if you lock your coins up for 2 or 3 months, that's locked liquidity up for 2 or 3 months, right? So that's not good. And I got to be very careful about that. What else did I do? I did VEET. I staked VEET for a while. So VEET was they have an exchange, and they have VEETX, which is their exchange token. So I staked both for a while. So this is stuff that I staked since like early this year. So like during the passive income times when I did it, and like everything just blew up, obviously, right? So it did work out pretty well. But yeah, that's it. We got Enrique Chances. You missed my super chat, guys. Thank you so much for donations as well. Thank you so much. A big apologies. I need to have the window up here. Let me just double check. Let me just see mini feed. You know what? Let me get the mini feed up on this one. So let's throw mini feed up here so I don't miss out on any of these super chats. So let's see. So guys, big thank you to everyone who's donated. I want to give you guys all shout outs. You guys are amazing. Okay, let's see. That's not, the mini feed's not working. Give me a sec. Okay, so Cliff Agpro, thank you so much for your donation. We got Enrique Chan says, what do you think of Proton XPR built on EOS software? I'm not too sure. I'll put it on a list of things to look at. EOS was taking a bit slow, but hopefully they can come back. We got Jordan Fater says, I'm staking VEET and VX. Wow, that's great. Yeah, you must be doing very well. VEET just went up like crazy too. Like VEET was like sitting at 12 cents for the longest time, and now it's at like 26 cents. 26 cents. It's crazy. Anyways, guys, across Canada says, I gotta take a break. Good night, everyone. Yes, good night across Canada. RJ Jamal says, are you still long on ETH? Yes, absolutely. So like I said, ETH is part of my HODL. So when I use ETH, I actually put it in the MakerDAO vault. If you guys watched the MakerDAO video, I put it into MakerDAO vault, so it's there. And at the same time, I took out DAI to play around with. So that's kind of the situation. Nextari says, Link is already number 6. Do you think it can go much higher, or does DPTC need to move first? Well, technically, ETH is more related to, Link is more related to decentralized finance. It's providing data for decentralized finance. So I expect like Ethereum to be the powerhouse behind it, right? So yeah, Ethereum is probably your, the ocean that will bring up rising tides for everyone. Luke Thomas says, hey, Box Mining, do you have any details of the upcoming DeFi integration to Uptrend? So what happened with Uptrend is that they're doing some DeFi integration, which is what caused the spike in movement. Jeff has been very quiet on that. He's a good person. He doesn't tell me anything about it, but I'm very interested to hear it. So I don't have anything for that. YFL today, pool 0. I'll take a look. Have you heard of Swingbee? Yep, I heard of Swingbee. That's in my smart portfolio. Why not? You can actually get it for free if you past 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, you can get it for free by just staking BNB, but not anymore. Yeah, they kind of removed that feature. So oops. But if you were chasing everything with auto yield farming, you would have known. But it wasn't too much, right? Right now, you probably have to buy it. Emily W says, what do you think about Decentraland? So I kind of feel like, I'll be blunt about it, I'm not a big fan of Decentraland just because I've been in the gaming space for so long. So they do these land auctions, which are very, very popular, but there's no community for it. You don't have a guaranteed community for it. Like, it would make sense. I've seen video games that auction off land, so Second Life, and also in a way, EVE Online. EVE Online, you don't really have land per se, but you have player-owned assets. So you have like a player-owned region, technically. So like you can put a lot of money into this idea of virtual land. They kind of made it like almost like $1 million homepage style land auction. The biggest problem with Mana is that who's going to come and build on it? For me, as a game developer, I have game development experience. everything that matters is about players, right? How big is your player community? If your player community is big, then your land, your assets, everything is worth a lot. If your player community is small, then it's not good. So that's, I think, one of the challenges that Mana has to overcome, which is like, how do you develop a community here? Who are the people in this space? But I guess in crypto, we have a lot of more forgivenesses. Like if it was in a gaming space, if your game didn't generate more than, like, say, targets were like 100,000 users, like 100,000 users if you're on Tencent or something, or like if your game doesn't generate and retain 70% of the 100,000 players that Tencent gives you, then you're out. You are so out. All contracts ripped. You're out because your game sucks, right? But in crypto, I think our tolerances are different. Like I came into the crypto gaming space with that type of like really rigorous gaming circle mentality where your product needs to deliver fast. But here it's just like Mana is like, oh, they're slowly building, they're slowly making, and then like they're getting attention over time. So maybe that's important. So maybe that could work. But just my 2 cents there. Like coming from the gaming background, it was like, yeah, if your game doesn't, like, thousands of people in a game doesn't matter when it comes to Tencent, when it comes to 360. So I was in talks with these guys, right, listing my game. So I went to Tencent, I went to Qihoo 360, their Yoshi platform as well. I went to, what was the other one? One of their competitors. I went to Baidu as well, trying to list my game. And there were so many requests and the demands are so high. It's absolutely insane. Christian Gonzalez says, I missed the early part of the stream. I was hoping, thank you so much for a donation as well, $5. Can you explain why, again, Bitcoin went up again? Bitcoin's always been like, do you need that narrative? Like, Bitcoin's still like within that little zone we're talking about, right? Like Bitcoin hasn't really made a move. I mean, I would say Bitcoin makes a move if it goes up to 14K. It already broke out of the 9K, 10K area, right? I mean, that was 2 weeks ago. And now we're just kind of in that little fun phase between 12K and 11K. I mean, it's not a breakout yet. I would say right now we're still kind of just like sitting here and waiting. Bitcoin's just sitting here and waiting for, everything to go up. So yeah. Infinity Beyond says, just like World of Warcraft is dying. How many people play World of Warcraft here, man? That was such a good game. I was there in World of Warcraft since Burning Crusade. That was really great. That was really fun. Yeah, my guild killed Illidan, and then we were halfway through Sunwell Plateau, the extra boss where you could kill Jaden at the end. Anyways, yeah, that was fun times. Gaming is big. I think gaming is the one that can bring a lot of people into crypto. I think the units that we have are wrong. Like a lot of games we see, well, CryptoKitties, 10K players, 100 players, daily active users, right? Very, very small daily active user base, and we consider that a success. But really in the gaming space, you're aiming for the billions, right? Especially in China, like you're aiming for at least 100 mil almost to 10 mil. 10 mil to 100 mil, I would say, in terms of users. They're looking at these big games, right? Because all Tencent and all, I say Tencent a lot because if you guys are in the gaming industry, they own pretty much everything. So they own Riot Games, League of Legends, PUBG, China, it's all done by Tencent. Tencent owns like 10% or 20% of Activision Blizzard. They own like pretty much every game development company out there. Even like Supercell is Tencent invested. So yeah, Tencent's always looking at these like huge numbers, right? The numbers that they're looking at are like orders of magnitudes higher than what we have in crypto right now. And I feel like the way I see it is that crypto gaming had a few false starts at the start because people were too focused on the crypto rather than on the gaming. And this is something that I've been thinking of. Like I've been having all these thoughts about like, how do you put the games first? How do you give game developers some kind of ideas to go forward. And if you have money, why don't you just buy game devs? I mean, I know so many good game devs in China. It's absolutely insane because I also ran a side business while I was at it where I sourced games from China. I took good games and sold them overseas to South Korea, Vietnam, Philippine markets. We had a repertoire of 30, 40 games. But the problem of all these developers is that they need to have an idea of how to work with crypto. So I'm thinking of something cool myself. So yeah, like it's really about how to work with crypto that becomes a problem. So yeah, so I'm a very, very big gamer. League of Legends. That was like I got hooked on it earlier this year, but I quit gaming pretty much prior to the bull run. So I play maybe a little bit of StarCraft 2 now, just because it's fast. But League definitely quit it because it's such a social game that you get sucked in to play with your friends. Like your friends are like, oh, we got a party going. Okay, come on. And you're on, So that's the hard part. We got Rodney Patisse's PS5 out this year. That's great. We got cursed CFN's McAfee would eat his dick if Bitcoin wasn't a mill by 2020. He backed out of that. What a pussy, right? What a pussy. He backed out about that. There was actually an interview. So John, I'm just gonna go questions and answers right now and just show with you guys. John McAfee, box money. Okay, I can't even spell my name. All right, this video. If you guys watched it, I asked him directly. I was on the boat with him, right? I mean, watch that video. That's hilarious. That was hilarious. We asked him how he's gonna eat his dick. It was great. I just went all out. I went all out on that one. I'm like, oh, I don't care. I mean, you're like John McAfee was like the popcorn, right? It's like you watch him for the fun, for the enjoyment. Like you don't take him too seriously. And I just went all out on that. That was a great interview on a boat. I was like, that was 2018 days. I just asked him how he's gonna eat his dick. I know. Sorry if you guys are sensitive to that, but that was a great interview. That was fun. But as much as people hate that guy, I mean, obviously he showed a lot of really bad projects. Not to defend him in any way. I mean, I knew that the way I work is that I'm not affected because when I meet someone, I put a classification on them ASAP. So whether they are a reverse indicator or a positive indicator, right? So John McAfee immediately fell into the reverse indicator pile. I didn't follow any of his pumps. I don't really care about for that. That was not what I was interested in 2017. So I guess I wasn't as affected. But one thing out of respect for what he does, okay, I won't swear here, but he had like 9 interviews that day. He just plowed through that. He was on he was just drinking and plowed through 9 interviews. Like I can barely do 2 interviews a day. He did 9. And he's like, what, 70? It's crazy. He's a hustler, man. He's a hustler. But yeah, he did back out on that. That's too shame. Shame sucks. Yeah, I would have. It'll been fun. Michael Liu says John McAfee is hilarious as long as it's not offending you. Exactly that. He's popcorn. It's like he's popcorn cinema. That's what you take it as, AC says, can governments outlaw Bitcoin? Yes, of course. Of course, governments can do everything. But at the same time, can they prevent us from using Bitcoin? No, they cannot. So as long as you have internet access. So even though like a good example would be China. So China has a great firewall of China, but Bitcoin still works very, very well in China. Why? It's because Bitcoin only needs 1 megabyte of data to be sent to synchronize the network every 10 minutes. So yeah, how are we going to censor that? Like, as long as you have internet connection and internet connectivity, it can work. And in the future, I would say, once we have that satellite network up, that's going to be crazy. There's still going to be no way to censor this. So that's the current stance. We got Michael Bum asking the same question. Do you still mine, bro? No, I do not. So I was looking into it, but I currently do not mine. The probability is around 30 cents per GPU. It's just not worth my time right now. Like right now, like I said, yield farming was so big, like pretty much last few weeks, roughly like 100K maybe in yield. Yeah. Like if you're lucky, if you're smart. So, that the magnitude's way off. Yeah, so we have a few repeat questions just to say, like, how do you feel about rest of politicians, etc. Politics. I don't talk about politics anymore. I don't read politics anymore. I'm just focused on crypto. No point. Time is money, friends. Michael Liu says, mining doesn't take a lot of data, it takes a lot of electricity. Yeah. The issue of Hong Kong is electricity is not cheap. So right now I'm getting it at around 7 to 11 cents per kilowatt hour. The more you use, the more expensive it is. So technically speaking, running mine whilst it's summer, whilst I have the air conditioning on, just not worth it. Yeah, I'm doing super fast questions right now. We got Nick Tar says, remember his daily pump-a-thon coin recommendation in December 2018. Yeah. I mean, John McAfee did that. These pumps, just be careful of pumps in crypto. It's really sad. I feel like it's not the way the market should move. But this year I learned, that's just the way it is, right? There's going to be tremendous downside. Be aware of it and just move on. Arbush says, Warcraft 3 Reforged was such a big disappointment. Man, I expected it to be a big disappointment because of how long it takes. The funny thing is, if you're in the gaming industry, the longer it takes for a game to develop, the more shit it's going to be. That's just like almost like a universal rule. It means that developers have no idea what they're doing and they're constantly changing their minds. So Reforged, it should have been a simple operation, right? Just make the game look better and boom, release it, right? But they spent what, 2 years doing Reforged? Like, what are they doing? Like the Chinese developers, if they want to make a Reforged, that's going to be out in like 3 months at max, right? If you look at what Tencent did with PUBG Mobile, like they copied that. They literally said, you know what, PUBG, yo, your code sucks. All right, we're going to remake the whole entire game and do it better. And PUBG Mobile came out like within months. These guys move so fast. These Chinese devs, that was what I learned. Like these Chinese devs are so fast because they have all the modules ready. Boom, boom, slap it in. And their code is so efficient to be reconfigured. Like the way they throw that in, bam, bam, bam. Okay, boom. Now PUBG Mobile runs better, cleaner, faster on the mobile. Like PUBG, what are you doing? Like Blizzard, what are you doing? Shawana Twerk says, what's your target on BTC, long-term, short-term? Thank you. So BTC for me is a long-term hodl. I don't really have a target to sell. I know it sounds really scary, but I feel like the way the current market is going, I think a lot of people throw these big numbers out to try to tempt people to go in. All I have to say is from my experience, in 2012, I mined Bitcoin. It was $10 when I mined it. I sold at $15. I should have hodled. Didn't hodl, learned my lesson the hard way. So coming into 2016, I just bought it, hodled it. I don't really have a particular target for when do I sell it out. I feel like the whole economy, like at the end of the day, I'm almost a maximalist in here. I believe that eventually Bitcoin will become some form of reserve currency where the US dollar doesn't matter as much. Like, call me crazy, but like I think the way politics is moving right now. Like, look at how US is becoming more and more crazy in terms of banning off Chinese apps, closing that wall off. China did the same thing 10 years ago, worked very well for them. So eventually speaking, in terms of not just applications, but in terms of currency, there won't be as much free flow. So I actually feel like Bitcoin will be the one currency for the world. Like, think of it that way. I think that's a long-term long-term projection. So I haven't touched my hodl. I don't have a target for selling. I'm one of those guys that's like 1 BTC is always 1 BTC. That's my target. 1 BTC is 1 BTC target. There we go. Unit power, what are your thoughts? I heard a lot of people asking for it. I'll take a look. I haven't taken a look seriously at it. So yeah. Jeremy Ino says, what's the best place to reveal profits for yield mining? So either discussion groups, so come on Box Mining. We have a lot of farmers up here on the Box Mining Telegram chat, and also Twitter. So if you want to just hop on the coolish stuff, it's always on Twitter because there's no good aggregator right now because of just how fast the space moves. No one's really done that yet. Have you followed the BRICS summit and what are your thoughts on the some accomplished so far? I haven't followed BRICS summit to be fair. I followed a lot about DCEP and central bank digital currencies. DCEP is actually getting a release very, very soon in China. The beta phase is already out. So DCEP is the Chinese one. They're already very pushing this very quickly. There's a lot of questions to be asked, and I'll have a DCEP seminar if you guys are interested. I did that one with a few groups of people. So I'll give you guys an update, but I haven't actually followed the BRICS summit for so to speak. If V says Minecraft plus DeFi, what are your thoughts? I think like I guess it's like a good cash grab. I know it's it's hard for me to say this, but like for me, like I have very insane standards for it, right? So I feel like they have a good concept, they're fast developers, but at the same time, does it work? Who knows, right? Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but you know, people like it. Mr. T says miners will make sure BTC has cheap transactions so it can't be currency for the masses. I think this is just a myth. It's like it's a debate that I no longer care about anymore. There's so much politics with Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV. I've chosen like Bitcoin, and I offered anyone who is arguing Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV to say, if you really believe that Bitcoin is, or Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin SV is the real Bitcoin, well, I'll offer you a 1-to-1 swap. So if you want to sell your one Bitcoin and I'll give you one Bitcoin SV, go ahead. That offer is always open. You can give me one Bitcoin anytime. I'll give you the true Bitcoin SV or Bitcoin Cash any day. I feel like that's kind of the argument for me. Like, done. No longer need to debate this. I feel like it's the stupidest argument. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, like these are ideological and political arguments that I don't really care about. That's not where I don't know, just it's just boring. It's been debated like endlessly, and we're just going in a continuous one-sided loop. You guys believe what you want. It's a political thing. Have fun. The money's not there, so I don't really care about it. But no, he says I'm not arguing BTC over ETH thief. I mean, if you're in Bitcoin, you probably know Lightning Network is pretty much getting pretty good development so far. So if you actually want to use Bitcoin on Lightning, I actually see that as a very good option. Just that right now, crossing that bridge between Bitcoin and the Lightning Network is hard. But in the future, I definitely see that as the way going forward. My 2 cents. So yeah, so people are saying Bitcoin won't scale. Bitcoin will scale. It's Lightning Network. It's one of the most legit projects out there. Relax, calm down. It's gonna work. If it doesn't work, they're gonna find a better solution. Calm down. Yeah, like I'm done with anything that wastes time. Like time is so precious right now. Like if you're wasting time like arguing if Bitcoin will scale or not scale, like that's not what I'm interested in. Like I just don't know what Coinbase and those guys are doing every day. I mean, like he's trading, like the market's still for Bitcoin. It's just like it's a flat line. Get over it, right? Like I'm in HODL fine. I've already made that decision. I don't need to remake that decision again. Jose Gamboa says, do you think ETH will see greater gains than Bitcoin? Yeah, absolutely. Bitcoin is like, ETH has so much going on for it, right? My 2 cents, I think, like think about ETH, how much DeFi projects are on ETH right now? ETH is where it's the primordial goop for everything right now. Yeah, and the way ETH value, ETH is not just value because of the tech, right? But because of the people, Asgard. It's not the people, it's not the planet, it's the people, all right? But ETH is about the people, right? And the community is a little bit too crazy on ETH because, like, if you just look at the example, I think it's I looked at EMGT yesterday. So they have their own mainnet, but they also created an ERC token to allow for more trading, and that token just shot up in price. It was being sold at a 4x premium over the actual mainnet token. So that goes to show that ETH network is still where the swagoo is at. It's where the action's at. You don't ever want to not be on the ETH network. You will always want to have some some form of communication with ETH. Right now, obviously, ETH is extremely expensive. I've been complaining about it. I've showed you guys screenshots also. Right now, gas fees are at 98 Gwei, which is like literally $2 per transaction, $6 for any trade on Uniswap. Probably around $15 if you want to create a vault on MakerDAO. And throughout this whole 4-week period, I probably spent, and I sent a screenshot of this up, but I spent around $1,500 on just gas fees. I just straight away burning that, like lighting that up, and it's just gone. To a point where Vitalik actually commented on ETH that ETH is now a deflationary token. That's how much gas is being burnt off. It's absolutely insane. But anyways, that's my 2 cents. I think ETH does have a lot of potential. I feel like scaling is a big issue. Like right now, the network is so clogged up. I think people are just going to say this is outright broken. But at the same time, ETH 2.0 is coming out, the Mandela mainnet launch. It just deployed with the testnet. There was a lot of drama at the release of the mainnet when people didn't fully launch their clients and it didn't reach consensus. But it's kind of expected of a mainnet launch, especially when people don't have a monetary stake in this. So the tests are moving a lot better. It's moving ahead. The beacon chain will be up hopefully towards the end of next week. What am I talking about? Towards the end of this year, actual beacon chain for Ethereum 2.0. So I see a lot of potential there for me personally, not financial advice. Pickpack Travel asks a really good question. And I think this is a question that comes with a lot of people. So Pickpack Travel, if you had just $5,000, what would you invest in? And this really depends, because I actually had a few people who did exactly that. So I had 5 different people come to me and say, look, you told me about Bitcoin. How do I get some Bitcoin? What's happening? And a lot of them just chose to buy Bitcoin from me because I was like, you know what, I'll give it at like lower the market rate because I just want you to get on board, right? So I gave them some Bitcoin and they had, or not Bitcoin, gave them USDT. And they were like, okay, look, what should I do? And there's multiple strategies, not financial advice, of course. So the safer strategies are where you have a good portfolio, good split. You have to remember that crypto doesn't charge you per trade. It charges a percentage per trade. So if you're on any of the exchanges like Binance or whatnot, you can just go over there and say, look, I want to buy a ratio of these coins. And if you want to play it safe, I would just say, yeah, play it safe. Buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all those other stuff, and for the big ones, and don't go expose yourself to so much risk. I also know people that are on the complete other side. They're like, okay, look, I want to flip this as fast as possible. I want to chase this. I want to spend 16 hours a day chasing that storm and chasing those coins. That's a possibility. I'll talk more into this. I think this should be a separate channel video. And the last one, one of my friends who did this, they straight went into making their own coins. They're like, oh, show me this ERC20 generator. I want to make my own token. I want to make my own meme. Depends. It depends on what's right for you. So anyways, that's pretty much the end of this video, guys. I think I'm pretty much done. It's already very late, but guys, thank you guys so much for watching. With 500 people here, I need to do a giveaway, I think, for a t-shirt. So I promise you guys, notification squad, make sure you put that notification button on. I think that's super cool. If you guys want to support this channel, notification squad, guys. And so the rule for the giveaways is that if you type a message within the notification squad message within the first 12 hours of a video release, you get a chance to win one of these box mining t-shirts. I have the new box. I know I showed you guys the new box. So it's somewhere. I just can't find it right now. We sent the first batch of t-shirts out already. They will arrive in, this is almost like a joke, around 2 months, just because of how slow post is now. I will think of some better presents. I know everyone was asking about t-shirts, but we'll send out t-shirts for now. We're sending them out, but just be careful. It will take some time to arrive. Other than that, guys, let me do a draw. So let's see what videos I published this week. So we have this one. Oh, so this is a week ago, so I wasn't too active. So it's really these 2 videos that have notification squad. So I say 1, 2, and 3. So random number 1, 2, 3. I'll just type this in so you guys know I'm not cheating here. random number. So we got video number 3 here. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. So this interview with Bobby Ung. This is actually a great interview, actually. If you guys want to know what's happening at CoinGecko, like they're at the forefront of everything. So you guys should really definitely check it out. But anyways, let's see. Let's see. Find duplicate users. So I'm loading up the users. We'll just do a pick, guys. And guys, make sure you smash up the like button. Make sure you smash up that like button. Bitcoin bits, crypto bit Sam says, please do a video tutorial on Polkadot. I'm looking at that right now, guys. Let's see. Click the start button. We're drawing winner here. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, it's Sazed again. Notification squad. Dude, Sazed, you need to contact me. I think you won one of the t-shirts already. I swear, I picked this name out before. Sazed, just contact me. Contact me. I'll do another draw because I'm 100% sure you won last time. So let me just do another draw for this one. If you want 2 t-shirts, I'll throw more in. I mean, you didn't claim it, guys. Claim it afterwards. Just message you. So we got Kabaza, the gamer, thanks box. You need to go hashtag notification squad. I'll have to pick another one. But if you want a t-shirt, do contact me. We got SRKV, hashtag notification squad, winner, chicken dinner. Contact me, please. Contact at boxmining.com. Just prove that you're fine, you're great. All right, guys, that's pretty much for today. Thanks, Michael, Escape the Matrix. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yes, keep tuned. I'll try to make as much as possible. We have 2 interviews this week. I'm actually really excited for the CZ one. So if you want to ask CZ a question, this is actually there's a giveaway on that as well. So if you want to ask CZ a question, people have already started asking some questions here, but we have the top prizes. So you have 3 prizes: most creative question, most insightful question, most funniest question. $50 prize for each of these questions. So that's like $150 full of prizes. Ask one. I think the chances of winning are actually pretty high. We'll get CZ himself to choose the questions, and you get a lot of insight out of it. I mean, why not, right? I'm super excited for CZ to come on because I actually want to see what that dynamic between centralized finance, decentralized finance is coming up next. Get some insights from the big guy himself. Yeah, I guess there. So anyways, guys, Angela Wang is helping out with the distro, so of the t-shirts. So contact boxmining.com. Winner, chicken dinner. Just get the shirts out. We'll figure out a way for the for US and European people because like delivery time from Hong Kong is too long. So I'm trying to figure out how to get t-shirts if you guys want some like box mining. Still trying to figure out some t-shirt designs. It's just been way too busy for me. But anyways, I'm gonna get that done hopefully by the end of this week. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. So when is it going to be for that CZ interview? It's going to be live in 46 hours. So I highly recommend you that you bookmark this. So the video is out already. Like the waiting thing for the video is out already. So you can just put this on, just type that address that I put up on. It's live in 46 hours. So it'll be literally in 2 days from now. So less than 2 days from now, when I start my stream, it's always 11 p.m. 11 a.m. Hong Kong time, 11 p.m. Eastern. YouTube will show you the correct time here. Just click the reminder on button, smash up those likes. CZ interview coming right up. It will be live too. This is the craziest part. Not many founders are willing to do live interviews. CZ is just going all in. He's like, live interview. I'm okay with it. You guys can ask questions. I prepare questions up here. That's going to be amazing, guys. So I'm super excited for that. Yeah, great to have like so many good people coming on to this channel doing interviews. Really appreciate this community. Really appreciate the questions you ask. Yeah, check that out. Make sure you're on that. So we'll see you guys for that one. And if not, if you want to watch for the full-on box mining live stream, the next live stream will be on Friday. I'll maybe do an extra one. We'll see. We shall see soon enough. Let me schedule the next one too. Let me just clone this one anyway. And I'm going to clone this one. We'll put it on Friday. Boom. All right. All right, we're done. We're done. So let me send you guys the link as well. So video is being created, done. I should get a shareable link. Shareable link. All right, shareable link here. Boom. So guys, thank you so much for watching today. We shall see you guys on Wednesday, if not sooner. And with that, guys, adios. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next